First off, I want to thank the brave men and women who work behind the wall. I want to thank them on a national level because their job goes unrecognized.
How do they try to turn a guard?
Well, correctional officer. Sorry, I apologize. But correctional officer. How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Gangi, host of Tier Talk. I got an email today from one of the, individuals that view the channel, and they wanted to know about a term I use frequently called generalized animosity. What does that mean? They said they tried Googling it. They just couldn't get a meaning. So I guess I may have invented a term, but it does have meaning. It has meaning specifically for this profession, but it may be able to branch out a little bit. But the reason why I want to do this video, it is Saturday morning. I try to stay away from videos on the weekend. But besides the fact that someone wants to know to get a better understanding of my videos, of course that's going to give me the motivation to do a video right away. There's an importance behind that term and how it affects our profession. Also how it affects our mental health. That's how important this term is. So we come back from our sponsor. I'm going to talk about what this term means, generalized animosity, and how it can affect us in this profession, both internally and externally. So we come back from our sponsors. Let's talk about generalized animosity. Now, guys, if you haven't, the show Tier Talks for you, brave men and women that work in corrections. So please subscribe, interact, engage, comment, hit that bell. That bell is going to notify you every time I post a video. We're going to go to our sponsor. When we come back, we'll be discussing generalized animosity. And it's cool because by inventing the term, I can kind of create whatever meaning I want. I think so. So let's just go to our sponsor. When we come back, I'll tell you the meaning I have created for it. Stand by.
I wanted to attend a university that had an intelligence program. I wanted to look at problems different. I wanted to increase my critical thinking abilities. AMU offered those avenues to expand. Obtaining your degree as an adult, you're actually paying yourself and investing in yourself. You can't put a dollar on it, it's priceless. It's something that can never be taken away from you.
American Military University. Learn from the leader.
Thank you guys for listening to our sponsor. So generalized animosity, what it means is basically is we look at the group instead of the individual. So basically it may be easier for us to hold the group responsible as opposed to really going into the individual that may be the concern. And when I talk about groups, specifically to this profession, we're talking about admin, custody, civilian, inmates. I mean, however you want to group things out, there's many ways you could do that. But most of the time, we may have a problem with one individual, and we may try to simplify that by just saying, you know what, damn admin, damn custody, damn civilians, damn inmates. But in the end, that generalized animosity that's going towards that group for the actions of one, it's not healthy on the person that's holding that generalized animosity. It's not. And the reason why this topic's important to me is not just so much for the mental health, but it's also how we view each other. And that's key, because guys, we're trying to make a change in this profession, but the change has to come from the inside out. We have to respect ourselves before we go ahead and expect others to respect us. So if there's a cancer, we have to remove it. And believe it or not, generalized animosity, that's a cancer. It's killing us. It puts a divide in us that really, it breaks us away from where we need to be and how we work together, or how we should work together. I remember this hitting me a few years back when I was at an event and I was a keynote speaker. And before they introduced me, the speaker before me had said, and guys, by the way, this person works in administration, but he's not the normal administration that you would expect. Because administration has been known to do this, 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 and this, but not him. He stands up and defends the profession, and it was kind of like a backwards compliment. I mean, I understand what the person is trying to say, but I'm proud of the position I'm in. I'm proud of who I am, yes, but I'm also proud of the position I'm in. So it's like you're complimenting me, but you're not complimenting me, because a part of who I am is that position. So when I went up there, I did have an idea of where I wanted to hit in the speech, but I kind of changed it around a little bit after that moment. And I looked around in the audience, and I saw administration there that had brought their officers to be recognized, brought their staff members to be recognized. And originally, my speech would have been towards everybody in the group, but I wind up actually giving my speech to just those 3 individuals. And basically, I was trying to tell everybody that we may have the problem with one individual or 2 individuals, but we have to do what we can to not generalize that out to everyone. Because generalized animosity, again, just an invented term, but I know it has meaning, actually could lead to negative stereotypes. I mean, we don't want that on our behalf. Like, I hate it when, there's a custody member who does something foolish, and now we're all part of that mix. Instead of people taking the time to remember that person's name and holding that person responsible, it's just easier to say, yep, that's what custody does all the time. Or even from custody's perspective, sometimes we generalize issues with civilian staff because we have that problem with that one. So now that person, that one, becomes the representation for their whole department. It's that generalized animosity. It's very divisive. So, again, just in an effort to answer the email that was sent my way, which is a great question because I hear throwing out made-up terms without realizing I made it up, but it came up in the moment because it really does define what we deal with in corrections. It could define other professions, but right now my focus is only in corrections. So technically, just to reiterate, generalized animosity is just basically holding everybody responsible for the actions of one. You can even do that with the inmate population. This is where our job becomes very hard. When we get assaulted by an inmate, it's very hard for us not to take it out on every inmate. And that's not the right thing to do. We have to hold ourselves at a higher level and be able to really focus on where that problem is. And that's actually the other part of this video, the mental health. If you're going to walk around just generalizing these negative feelings without really addressing where the negative feeling is coming from, you're not solving anything. You're only making matters worse. And on another note, it kills the employee morale. It really does. We should not look at the good people in this profession that represent their departments as the exception. We should look at that as the norm and where people need to be. And then from there, we will have a better picture of those departments or those groups. That negative bias affects how we view each other. When you have a negative bias, you're going to try your best to fit people into that picture because that's what makes it more comfortable for you. And anytime there's someone that's positive, well, we're going to go ahead and minimize that. We're going to go ahead and negate that. Because again, it doesn't fit with the picture that we already have, the picture that we're comfortable with. So we have to break ourselves away from that. We do. That person that's representing the department in a very good way, well, that person is not the exception. That person should be the norm. That person should be what we expect. So again, let's be aware of our biases and let's do what we can to go ahead and get ourselves in that right mindset. Because in the end, guys, I think if we're in the right mindset, it's going to manifest its way out. And then we, as an agency, we're just going to be in a better, healthier, more welcoming environment. And that's going to help tremendously with the employee morale. But more importantly, it's going to help with not just how we view each other, but how others view us as well. And that's the key. So I hope this answers the question that the person sent me, and I would love to see his comment as well as yours. Tell me what your thoughts are. As always, guys, the show is Tier Talk. Stay safe.